Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The members of this group are Aisha, Alia Shafina, Hana Maryam, and Sarah Ayuni. Now we will be presenting our accounting simulation for FAR110. Starting with our business's background, the name of our business is Ash Comfort Cakes, and it is located in Section 15 Shah Alam. The business is a sole proprietorship and the owner of the business is me, Hana, and I have decided to sell footwear such as Converse shoes, sports shoes, and loafers. The accounting period is 1 year, beginning from 1st November 2020 until 31st October 2021. We have two employees with us who are Ika and Haikal, with both of them earning 500 ringgit each as their salary every month. Moving on to the four accounting concepts and assumptions that is used in the business. First of all, monetary unit assumption, which is recording using Ringgit Malaysia. Next, going concern concept, which is assuming that the business will continue its operation for a long time. Consistency concept, which means we are consistent with the methods we use. And lastly, periodicity assumption, which is reporting in monthly intervals. In addition, the business uses the periodic inventory system to record our inventory. The owner has also made some investments in Cempaka Sendirian Berhad and received 300 ringgit as dividend for the month of November. Not only that, but the business has also took two loans such as a long-term bank loan of 45,000 ringgit from SME Bank and a 30,000 mortgage loan for which the business has to pay 250 ringgit every month for the next 10 years.
The accounting cycle starts at the beginning of a business financial period and normally ends 12 months later. There are several steps in the accounting cycle, starting with the gathering of source documents. Source documents are evidence that business transactions have occurred. Some examples are cash bills and debit or credit notes. These source documents will then be recorded in journals in a chronological order. Items of transactions will be classified and recorded in journals, such as sales journal or purchases journal. Third, journal entries will be posted to ledger accounts. The ledger is a book that records transactions based on these categories: general ledger, sales ledger, and purchase ledger. Fourth, trial balance is a list of closing balances of ledger accounts on a certain date. It is prepared to determine the accuracy of the double entries in journals and ledgers. It also consists of a debit DR and a credit CR column. The last process in the accounting cycle is to prepare financial statements, which consists of statement of profit or loss and statement of financial position. The statement of profit or loss will show the revenues, expenses, and the profit or loss of a business. Meanwhile, statement of financial position provides information on assets, liabilities, and owner's equity of the business.
Alright, next. This is our business transaction for 1 month, which is from 1st November 2020 until 30 November 2020. It is supported by the related document for each transaction. Source of documents. Firstly, on 1st November 2020, the owner prepared memo as our documents because Hana wanted to inform to the accounts clerk that she had brought in cash and non-current assets as capital into the business. Then, on 2nd November 2020, H&F Shoes gave us an original invoice because we bought 250 units of Converse shoes at 30 ringgit per unit from them. While on 3rd November, SME Bank gave us a check because business took a loan of 45,000. Next, on 5 November, purchase returned a code because the business returned goods to H&F Shoes. So, we have to issue a debit note to the account payable while they will keep an original note. Alright, on the following day, which is 6 November 2020, the business kept a copy of cash bill because we received 1,080 ringgit by check for sales made from Jenny, whereas she will get the original bill. On 10 November, we gave out a check counterfoil as proof that we paid for our purchase of goods from Fatima. Then, on 11 November, sales returned a code because our account receivable returned goods. So, the business should give them the copy of the credit notes while Medifit Enterprise will keep the original. On 12 November, official receipt was given to the business in order to show that we have paid the amount we owe to our account payable, which is H&F Shoes, using a check. Lastly, on 20 November, we paid salary for our workers, which is Ika and Haikal. So, we prepared a payment voucher as proof that they have received their salary from us.
Journal. The accounting journal is a book of prime entry. It is also known as the book of original entry, where business transactions are first recorded in this book. Businesses need to properly classify and organize transactions. This is to ensure that there is no loss of transactions. As we know, for the first transaction, November 1, 2020, the owner brought in investment and motor vehicle as capitals. So, we need to record it in the general journal. However, when the owner contributed cash, it needs to be recorded in the cash receipts journal because the transaction involved cash. We also have the sales journal. Continued with purchases journal, sales return journal, and purchases return journal. Now, I will explain about the cash receipts journal and cash payment journal. The total in cash column of both journals need to be minus, wherein we will get the total of 29,575 in the cash account ledger. In the bank column of both journals, the total subtracted will be amounted to 33,996 in the bank account ledger. Next is the posting from journals to ledgers. Still referring to the first transaction, we need to open cash account, motor vehicle account, investment account, and capital account. For reference, information recorded in ledgers are based on the contra concept. If a debit is the natural balance recorded in the related account, the contra account records a credit. When we are recording in the cash account, the particular recorded is debit capital 30,000. As for the capital account, cash is credited 30,000. The recordings for motor vehicle account and investment account are the same too, referring to the contra concept. These are the rest of our ledger accounts. Our account payables, the bank account, sales and sales return, account receivables, purchase discount and sales discount accounts, furniture, drawings, and salary expenses, other expenses and revenues accounts, lastly, mortgage loan account.
Okay, for trial balance, A trial balance is a list of the general ledger accounts contained in the ledger of a business. This list will contain the name of each nominal ledger account and the value of that nominal ledger balance. Each nominal ledger account will hold either a debit balance or a credit balance. So the amount recorded in trial balance is the final amount in ledger and is classed into debit and credit according to the type of the account.
Here is our inventory card. The inventory card will show us how much each type of goods cost per unit and how much sales were made throughout the month of November. For example, on 6th November, we sold 24 units of Converse with the price of 45 ringgit per unit, even though we bought them at 30 ringgit per unit. Hence, the sales revenue on this date is 1,080 ringgit. Here is the closing amount for inventory. We will get a total of 10,880 ringgit. This amount will be stated in Statement of Financial Position as our current asset. Statement of Profit or Loss is a summary of a business's revenues and expenses over a period of time. This is why it is also called the income statement. It's important to prepare it so we can compare statements from different accounting periods to see the changes in revenues, costs, and profits of a business over time. First, we need to find gross profit. Gross profit of 3,676 ringgit is achieved when we deduct the cost of goods sold from our net sales. Then we will need to add up all of our other income, and lastly, minus the amount with all of our total expenses. Then we will get a net profit of 2,901 ringgit because our total income is more than our expenses. Statement of Financial Position. The information provided in SOFP are beneficial to external users, such as an investor, as they can compare this report to other businesses and decide where to invest their money. Internal users can also keep track and improve their business because they can see how much their wealth and debts are. As we can see from our SOFP, we must first add up what the business owns, which are all of our assets such as motor vehicle, investments, and account receivables. Once we have added up everything, we will get a total of 111,951 ringgit. Next, we have to count what the business owes, the owner's equity and liabilities. Total of owner's equity is 57,701 ringgit, whereas liabilities is 54,250 ringgit. When we add all of them up, we will get the same amount as our assets, which, according to the accounting equation, assets must always be equal to our liabilities and equity. That is all from us. Thank you very much.